How to sell on Amazon during COVID-19. These are your questions answered. Hey, welcome to the video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Myles, and this channel right here is all about accelerating your Amazon FBA journey. So with all of this COVID-19 stuff that's been happening, I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys about everything from, can I even get started right now, to what is changing with product research? How are sales going on Amazon? How can I even ship my inventory to Amazon? And this is fair enough because a lot of stuff is changing very rapidly. So I actually went and I asked you guys on my Instagram account, what questions do you have about selling on Amazon during COVID-19? And I'm gonna respond to those questions exactly as you asked them in this video. So no matter where you are in this journey right now, whether you're on the outside looking in, you're trying to find your first product to sell on Amazon, whether you already have your first successful product selling and you're wondering what to do next, how to react to the situation, I think you're gonna get a lot of value out of hearing these questions answered. By the way, if you'd like to get your questions answered like this by me directly, then firstly, go to my Instagram account and follow me there at Myles Dunphy. Secondly, join the FBA Nomads Facebook group. There's links down below. I'm in there as well. And thirdly, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you actually get these responses when I put them out. Okay, so let's get into the questions. First one, product research and inventory. Firstly, can we start right now? And secondly, what's it like? Is it back to normal? Firstly, yes, you can start right now. Secondly, no, nothing's back to normal. So I'm gonna explain all of this in more detail with these next questions, but you probably came here, you're wondering this, is it possible to start? And what's stuff like now? Firstly, everything is all messed up at the moment. And secondly, yes, you can start. So let's get into the next question. How to find opportunities in terms of products to sell right now. So I'm gonna leave you two resources down below. The first one is gonna be this cool website that I found called Glimpse. And they've actually set up a COVID-19 tracker where you can actually see for specific product opportunities and not just physical products as well, just general things that are happening, general trends that are changing. You can see whether they're going up, whether they're going down, and exactly what that looks like. And the second one is this picture, which I'm just gonna share on screen. So you can see what categories are going up, what are going down. Now keep in mind, this data changes very quickly, right? So whenever this was released, this was accurate, but perhaps now this is a little bit out of date. But use this as a starting point. Feel free to pause the video and soak it in. And third resource is a classic. This is the one that I've always been using and it will always be useful, is Google Trends. Just go on Google Trends if you're looking at a specific product right now, and you'll be able to see, if you filter down to United States, filter to the last 12 months or the last 5 years, you'll be able to see what that product is trending like at the moment. Is it going up? Is it going down? And then you can start to make a guesstimate based on what it's done so far as to what it's going to do in the future, because that's super important. And that's going to lead me into the next question. What product trends do you see emerging from this? And this is a really interesting question. And I'm not going to pretend to be able to answer this with any certainty at all, but here are some of the moving pieces and the way that I'm thinking about it myself. So firstly, there's the recession, which I posted about on some of these other videos that I posted recently. We're not actually seeing these recession effects at all right now, but the fact is that throughout 2020, 2021, there's going to be a negative economic impact. And so if you're looking at the long term, overall in the United States, things like luxury goods, things that are really discretionary goods, in the medium to long term, the overall sales are going to have to go down simply because people have less discretionary income to actually spend on those products. We haven't actually seen these recessionary effects at all. What we're seeing right now as a much greater product trend is the stay-at-home economy and stay-at-home habits specifically. So that's like, what changes are people forced to do right now because they're stuck at home? What are they actually changing in their daily behaviors, their habits, their purchasing patterns? What things are positive changes that they're probably just going to keep on doing for a while? And use those three resources that I just shared, the Glimpse COVID tracker, the infographic, and Google Trends, when you look at particular habits or activities or behaviors or things that people will be purchasing. Think about, is that something that people will be doing in the future? And ultimately, this stuff sounds kind of complicated because it is. Like, I don't know the answers here. I can only make the best guesses based on the data that I have available to me and the analysis and the time that I'm willing to spend to actually do this analysis, right? So here's the ultimate thing here is, this is really going to separate people who are willing to put in this work and are willing to think intelligently. And I know I've spoken to a lot of you who are really thinking about this very critically and very intelligently, and I like to see that. However, that's some people, and then some other people are just not going to be able to do this. They're not going to be able to react. They just want to be able to look at the numbers in a product research tool and just kind of go from there. That's not really going to work so well going forwards. But if you can be in that first group of actually analyzing the situation and doing stuff intelligently, there is a lot to gain. Because, let me get into the next question, are sales on Amazon going up or are they going down? So 90% of the Amazon sellers that I'm speaking to, their sales are way up across the board. And I mean way up. It's like Christmas happened last December and now it's happening again. The only difference is this time, nobody planned for it, and you've actually got a double whammy increase because most sellers don't have the inventory to meet that demand. And so if you can stay in stock right now, you can increase your prices significantly, you can make a crap load more profit. But we have the same problem that all other sellers do right now. leading into the next question, how to increase sales. Right now, it's about inventory management. Stay in stock, manage your prices, manage your PPC. You'll increase your sales, you'll increase your profit significantly right now, and then focus on getting product into Amazon as quickly as possible. That is and should be the priority for most Amazon sellers right now if they want to increase their sales. Stay in stock. Next question, product research. Am I still doing it? And if so, how has my methodology changed? So I'm gonna preface this. I'm not you, right? I'm probably ahead of where you are. We've already got brands running, we've got products, so we have other things to focus on. We're not doing that much product research right now. We already have a lineup of products that we're gonna be launching. We've actually slowed those launches down. We're actually gonna wait for a little while for some of these. We'll still get them going, but we're not placing much priority on them because, like I just answered, what we need to do right now is stay in stock with what we've currently got. But to answer the question, how would my methodology change? Exactly like I answered in those previous questions, you gotta look for the trends, you gotta look long-term, you gotta think intelligently, think critically. But all that really means is if you're in that first group of people who are actually approaching this intelligently, who are thinking really from fundamentals, like what's the problem that needs to be solved here? What things has coronavirus changed in terms of society? What problems were being solved before that now aren't being solved, or what new problems have arisen? And then products solve those problems, right? So if you're thinking about that in terms of the medium term, the long term, and you're able to actually identify a problem and then find a solution to that problem, then you're gonna do really well. But again, if you just, all you can do is follow these numbers on Jungle Scout, on Helium 10, you're probably not gonna do that well right now. Next question, product research and shipping. So you get the idea with product research, I think. Shipping. Air shipping is incredibly expensive right now. Rates are way through the roof. And the reason why is just supply and demand. So just like you're seeing in the marketplaces on Amazon where supply and demand dynamics have changed, in air freight and air express as well, the exact same thing has happened. You've taken the supply out, which is all of the planes, the cargo planes and the passenger planes that normally are flying and carrying cargo and supplying air freight capacity or air express capacity. Those planes are all sitting on the ground. So there are much less planes available to actually ship products right now. So therefore, the price goes up. In this case, they're way up. So you might want to consider sea shipping. Sea freight is also expensive right now, but it hasn't increased by as much as air shipping has. But ultimately, like you just factor it into your cost equation. You're going to pay the price that you have to pay because there is much less capacity on the market to actually ship your goods into the US. You pay that price. If you still make money, that's great. If you don't make money, then don't do it. Next question. This one's a good one. I'm out of stock, and now Amazon is restricting inventory, inbound shipments to really small quantities in a lot of cases, 50 units. Basically not enough to really sell for any period of time. So what do you do in this case? Firstly, depends where you're at. If you're currently doing product research, I wouldn't worry about this too much. At some point, this is going to change. It might be in a month, it might be in 2 months, it might be in 3 months. I don't think it's going to be 6 months or further out. In any case, if you have a completely new ASIN or a relatively new product, you're either not going to be able to ship it if it's new, or if it's a relatively new product, you're going to have a really small shipping limit. So this literally just changed as I was uploading this video. And now, as of right now, you can go and create those shipments. You shouldn't have any shipping restrictions. So if that's you, if you've had shipping problems up until right now, today is the 9th of May, go into Amazon Sales Central right now and try and create that shipment because you'll probably find you can do it. All right, back to the video. So this is what I would do. I would order the normal quantity that you wanted to order anyway. I would ship it into a third-party storage or a third-party logistics provider in the US. That way you're getting it out of China as close as possible to the US, as close as possible to the Amazon warehouses. Because here's the thing, this will normalize at some point. I just don't know when, but at some point, Amazon is going to start allowing these shipments to come in at a normal rate again. So you want to be ready to actually take advantage of that when that happens. Second part of the question, would I consider FBM? Yes, I would ship it into third-party storage. And then if nothing happens, if I still can't ship in the inventory that I need to ship in, if that doesn't happen, then yes, I would look at doing FBM. What to consider when launching your first product, 500 units. So this is a roll-up of all the stuff that I've answered so far. Firstly, accept that if you can get the shipment in, you're probably going to blow out of stock really quickly. You're probably going to make a lot of money with this product if it's in any niche that's doing well right now. That is the number one problem that new sellers, that experienced sellers are having, is just actually getting the inventory into Amazon. Once you get there, you can sell it, which means if you're launching, now is a fantastic time to launch. So really, you should think about your inventory management and what you'll do after this launch, because it's probably going to go pretty well. How does product research change using Helium 10 since COVID started? Already answered this one. The numbers are just way off. If you're just relying on that method, you still want to use it, right? But if you're just relying on that method, you got to understand that your ability to accurately predict this stuff is not as good as it was, let's say, 3 months ago. Next question, any predictions on freight costs? When are they going to go down? How is this affecting us? So we ship by sea and we're just making so much money on Amazon that, yeah, sea freight costs have gone up a bit, but we're making so much more money. If you're shipping air, I don't know when this is going to happen. And you're going to need to go away and think about this in terms of the supply and demand. Basically, again, if the demand stays the same, you've got lots of people buying stuff on Amazon, but the planes aren't there to ship those goods, When is that going to change? When are the planes going to come back online? And I don't have an answer for that. I know they are doing things where they're actually taking some passenger planes and they're converting them into cargo planes, pulling out the seats so they can ship goods directly in them. Because airlines want their planes back up and running, right? It's in their best interests to have these planes going, and then the prices will come down on Air Express. I would go and look at what airlines are planning to do. When are they planning to have their planes back up online? It could be a while, honestly. Next, how to decide if a keyword is too competitive. How do you know whether there's too much competition or not enough demand? And this really depends on a lot of things. Firstly, how good is your product? If your product is just the bee's knees, it's the best one out there, it's gonna rank itself in that case, and no keyword is too competitive. But the real problem is normally inventory. How much inventory can you actually afford to get up there and then stay in stock? If, for example, you're ranking your product for a keyword that's, let's say, gonna net you 20 sales a day, but at 20 sales per day, you're only gonna stay in stock for 7 days, and then you're gonna blow out of stock, and then it's gonna take you 2 months to reorder. Yeah, of course, you're not gonna rank for that keyword. Go for a keyword that might get you, 5 sales per day. Do the maths so you know how long you can actually stay in stock, and just make sure that that is a reasonable number. How will FBA competition be affected by the coronavirus? Good question. Obviously in the short term, right now, it's fantastic because nobody can stay in stock, nobody can ship their goods in. So if you're already on the side where you got started 6 months ago, or you got started 12 months ago, fantastic. You're making a lot of money right now. Life is great, other than not being able to send your own inventory in, obviously. I think in the long term, I think it's going to scare off a lot of new sellers, which again, I think is good for competition. I think there's going to be less competition. I think there's going to be more demand because a lot of retail stores will just get less sales. They won't be able to open. And I think there's going to be less people coming in because of these barriers, because it's suddenly a little bit uncertain. And again, if you're in that second group of people who just can't think very well about these things, how to solve problems, you're probably going to stay on the sidelines. Whereas I think the people who are in this for the long term, who are really wanting to build a business, do something valuable as well, I think it's going to be a much better time for people like that going ahead. How much budget for WS wholesale startup? No idea. Never done wholesale. I do private label. For me, private label is the way to go. So for wholesale, sorry buddy, I can't tell you. How to deal with hijackers. This one's really easy right now. Go get your trademark through the IP Accelerator. That's Amazon's provided program where they'll set you up with a list of trademark attorneys that you can contact one of them, set up your trademark, and then immediately upon filing for your trademark, you can actually get access to brand registry. And that's an Amazon program that will give you a lot of protections around protecting your listing from hijackers, from things like copyright claims, things like that. So brand registry is the go. Use the IP Accelerator program to get there as fast as possible. You can be done with that and have brand registry in a matter of weeks using this process. My first product was successful. Awesome. Should I add more variations to this product? Yes. Short answer, yes. If you've got variations to add, do it. It's easy. Why not? How can we identify reputable Chinese suppliers during this time? Same as at any other time, really. I think unless you're selling medical supplies or something, there's probably more risk and uncertainty there. I'm not selling medical supplies, so I'm going to speak to every other category. Follow the exact same process, go on Alibaba. On Alibaba, you can see how long they've been on the platform, how much trade they've done through the platform. You can see if they paid extra to actually go through verification requirements as well. That's all available on the platform. The last thing I'd say is potentially just remember to look for trade companies versus suppliers. Trading companies aren't always bad. It's just that a lot of the time by adding that middleman, you do have less certainty about who is the manufacturer of your product and how reliable are they. So I would, where possible, avoid using trading companies. Other than that, nothing else has really changed. Use Alibaba, follow those steps. Can I use Walmart or Target while not being in the US? So obviously with Amazon, normally the answer is yes, you use the FBA program. Target, I have no idea, and I think it's a very small percentage of total internet traffic, so I wouldn't be bothering looking at Target. Walmart is growing, and it's maybe, you might get 5 to 10% of your Amazon sales on Walmart, so it's not a bad idea. I've looked at their new fulfillment program, which I forget what it's called, Fulfilled by Walmart or something. That at the moment is only open to US sellers, but they are changing that rapidly. They're growing quite quickly, so that would probably open up in the near future. But even if you can't use Walmart's fulfillment program, you can still list on Walmart.com using a third-party fulfillment, just like you could use FBM on Amazon. So that's another option. Last question, what do you think about starting with a low competition but high keyword volume or high demand product? That's great. Everything else being equal, that's what you want. You want something that has low competition, high demand. I think a lot of the questions that I've answered throughout this video have really just gone back to these principles of what is the supply versus what is the demand. If you can get that equation in your favor, then you can make a lot of money selling on Amazon. What you need to look out for is there a reason why there's low competition? What's the barrier stopping other people from jumping in? Is it a patented product? Is the product hard to source? Is there something else that's stopping that competition from leveling up to actually meet that demand or that keyword search volume like you mentioned? If there isn't any sort of reason, then you want to look out for new sellers coming in. But if there is a reason, that's fine too. You just want to make sure that you can jump over that barrier yourself. So patented obviously is a bad idea, but if there's it's hard to find that product to get it manufactured, so do that work. Go find the manufacturer, set up your own supply chain, and then you're able to come into this low competition, high demand or high keyword search volume market and take it all for yourself, or at least take a large chunk of it. So that was all the questions that you had about selling on Amazon during COVID-19. I hope that I answered them, whether you directly asked these questions or whether they were asking the same questions that you were thinking. Whatever the case, I hope you got value out of this. And I hope you know a little bit more about how to approach selling on Amazon during these crazy coronavirus times. So if you want to be able to ask me these questions, then firstly, go on Instagram, go to my account, Myles Dunphy, and follow me there. And secondly, go down below, click the link to join the FBA Nomads Facebook group. Both of those ways you can ask me questions and I can answer them through a format like this. And then lastly as well, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already with the notification bell so you actually get these as they come out. So now it's your turn because you're still watching and it's the end of the video, so I know that you've got value out of this. So smash the like button. That shows me that you are enjoying these videos and appreciating them. It really helps me out and it's going to help me to continue to make these videos. That's it guys. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.